Right, good morning guys, and welcome to an update here from ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. It is February the 13th, I believe. This is the second time of asking because we was up here to try and do an update on my birthday, but the conditions were truly brutal. It was not so much daylight as almost dusk, or it felt like that, even though we was here about midday. Very cold, very bitter, constant drizzle, and the animals just didn't want to know. Could be the same today. You do not know that when you're working with animals or children, etc., or other vloggers in the case of Paul. But anyway guys, let's go and do this. Okay, well, welcome to Africa, home of the lion, more specifically the northern African lion, which is a rare species which they're trying to help repopulate. These guys, when they're fully grown, will have an average speed of about 46 miles per hour, so you ain't going to outrun them. They have a bite force of between, let's just say, 700 to 1000 psi, but that is still significantly less than, say, a jaguar and a tiger. In this enclosure here, you've currently got the 3 cubs with their mum Winter. The cubs have not been sexed yet. That will happen in the next couple of days. There was an issue with one of them with his back paw. It wasn't walking properly, but that could have just been a fawn or something, because they seem fine now. And of course you've got Dad, who is Malik, who come from Germany, Auntie Waka, and Mother Winter, who come from Antelope Zoo in Belgium. Talking about size, everyone remembers back in the day when chocolate bars were bigger. Remember the old lion bar? Well, that is a different kind of lion bar. That is a poop. I believe that is Winter, the mum, and here come the cubs. This is what everybody's been here waiting for. These are very rare northern African lions. Looking at them now, they don't look super imposing, but they will grow up to somewhere in the region of about 190 kilos fully grown. That one's had enough of the weather. At that age, very, very playful. It's the 3rd cub just about below me now. And this is what all the fuss has been about. These guys were born, I believe it was the 25th of November. They spent the Christmas period obviously snuggled up to Mum, who is Winter, who's just coming through now. Waka, who will be obviously the auntie, is in there somewhere. And then you've got Malik, the dad, and they've not been properly introduced as yet.
How was it?
Oh, yeah. You at me now? Did you see them? He did say that. You might not be back then. I was very happy with
What does a lion say?
They're certainly getting braver.
You can tell now, can't you? They come again. They're not happy if it goes that way, but if they stay this end, they're happy to go up.
It's calling to them. It's certainly been a special treat to see him, that's for sure.
Really? Yeah.
Whole big world for these guys to explore.
They are going to be some amazing shots.
Our Asian claw otter friends know there's food about. Some of the keepers have come along with some boxes, so they can sense there's something about to be thrown in for them. Actually waiting quite patiently for a change. And they make these really weird squeaky noises. Element of super cuteness, that's for sure. If you ever watch them closely, you'll find that they spend a lot of time juggling with something. Usually grab a rock, capture one once juggling a frog. And we should leave these guys to get on with what they're doing and maybe catch up with them when they've got some food later. These guys, the cheetahs, have got just simply stunning colours on them. And they seem to be playing a game of cat and mouse with us. We'll turn up and they'll walk around their enclosure at the back, which is separate to this one. And then when they think there's nobody about, they come out again. The largest of our surviving bird family, closely associated with raptors of the past. You see the definition in their talons on their feet. These of course being our ostriches. They lay a hefty old egg, that's for sure. They're very inquisitive. And they'll quite happily just stand there and wait for bugs to fly past and just simply pick them out of the air. This is actually surprising me right now. I sort of kind of expected these guys that are used to a lot warmer temperatures being in their little hut there in the foreground. Plenty of youngsters in amongst them. Obviously they get their colour from what they eat, the carotene etc in it, the pigments. But yeah, temperature wise this is not exactly the Caribbean, so no wonder they're crowing about it. Make our way now towards our elephant friends and the herd, and there is a bit of news. Sad for any of us who love the herd here, is that two of our beloved elephants are set to be leaving us in the foreseeable future, namely the spring. That is Karishma, who's well, she's got to be in her 40s at least now, and her daughter Elizabeth, named after our dearly departed Queen, they're going to leave us for the climbs of Chester Zoo. So whether that means they're making way for new members of the herd here, or whether they're trying to grow their own herd up that way, who knows. But they will certainly be missed. As I said, I used to sponsor Karishma back in the day. Love little baby Elizabeth, among many that would play in this old elephant arena that's no longer used because times and attitudes have changed. But luckily enough for myself, my specific elephant friends, being Donna, who I remember as a young calf, her mum Kaylee, and her daughter Nang, spelt with a P, strangely enough, I would be truly devastated if they left. It's pretty boggy around here, as to be expected this time of year, and they've put the old mesh fencing up to stop you drifting off out that way down towards the Asian rhinos. But the elephants themselves will be probably for at least, I'd say, another month, be holed up in their sandpit and their living quarter pen here at the visitor centre. The zoo is so quiet today, handful of cars, but it means for now I get these guys to myself. The large bull elephant there interacting with, I'm going to turn around and say that is Donna next to him, because that's little Nang at the front there, and that will be Kaylee behind. So a few generations right there. As I said, Karishma and Elizabeth have been moved away from the rest of the herd, so they're in preparation for their move. Of course, they have to be very careful with elephants because they carry this form of untreatable hepatitis, which is rife amongst the youngsters, to be honest with you. I've seen so many of them. Lee, Donaldson, all fallen by the wayside, and it's supposed to be extremely painful. There's nothing they can do for them, they just succumb to it. They're all content in their little pit area though. And as much as anything else, it is about their own safety. As you can imagine, an elephant carries a heck of a lot of weight, and with the ground boggy and slippery, it's easy for them to fall over and hurt themselves. Even as a youngster, little Nang over there, that would have been maybe a third that size, but still 20 stone at birth. Some good interaction with the bull elephant though. He's usually left to his own devices, and that's not just a zoological thing, that's nature itself. The matriarch, the female stick together, and the male lives in solitude.
Yeah, I think it's good. Are you able to make that good contact?
Little Nang certainly has an element of cuteness about her. I've seen the keepers come from the back area, so they've obviously believe there's an element of food on the horizon. As you can see, little and they're sprinting. I want some. It is unusual to see our little red panda friends at ground level. Usually you will see them up in the branches of the trees, but obviously he's got himself a little bit hungry. So like their bigger related cousins, their main diet is bamboo. Look at that for super cuteness. Well protected from the cold, with all that fur all over him. Distinctive red bushy tail. Get itself a little drink and then it'll be off. Catch you next time, buddy. Said I'd be back, guys, didn't I? So it wasn't food they put out for you, some sort of boxes. I know, I would have wanted food too. Off to investigate. Hiding in the distance over there at the back of their large paddock. Now this is a weird one. I believe that to be BB and Ginger, two females of the species of the African wild dogs. Now I believe at some point in 2023 they introduced Evan, Elvis and Einstein, three young males, and there's photographs of them interacting and getting on quite well. But where are they? They seem to have just disappeared. Whether they went on to another area of conservation, I don't know. I was sort of kind of hoping, because at one point there was, I believe, 7 in here. And you've only got the 2 girls at the moment, unless they're trying to source other males so they can have cubs. Or pups, should we say. Them being dogs. And stick your ears up so we can see you. You just about see the distinctive coloration as having a kip over there in the distance. Just like lion cubs, when they're young and they're pups, they got a super cuteness about them, and they got very distinctive what they call Mickey ears, which you can quite clearly see adorning their heads. Here we go, as demonstrated by the picture here. Beautiful set of ears on them. Makes them dissimilar from a domestic dog. Otherwise known in Latin as Lichen pictus. And they are beautiful. So perhaps they've awoken from their slumber. Certainly both standing up now. Whether that's just to patrol their territory or just look for another warm patch to go and have another kip. This is the bit that distinctively might surprise many. Lions 2 in 10 hunts end in a kill, whereas the wild dogs is 7 in 10. So much farther superior. Whether it's they can run for longer distances, and perhaps the lions, the big cats, etc. are faster over a shorter distance and are just out of breath. Yep, I think they're just going to nuzzle down and have another kip. Why not? Don't blame you, girls.
Elephants and so much more.
These are the two youngsters that were born last year. Still have that element of plush toy teddy bearness about them when you look close up at their fur. In there with mum and dad. The larger of the species at the back there. Again, like many animals, very, very timid. Within an hour of being born, they can actually stand up. Hi there. Someone looks like they might even go out today. Stick your head out the door. No, it was too cold for me. Don't blame you. How super cute are you? Many people's favourites. Distinctive long blue tongue, dwarfed by its parents. Very majestic and dainty in the way they walk.
Should we go downstairs? Yeah. From downstairs.
This is their treetop level, which you can come out and see them in during the summer months. I think it's just far too cold for them to come out. They don't like it, and they're certainly not going to force them to come out. But I think we're going to go and have a look at Quali, see what he's up to. Was it Quali or was it Cooley? I think it might be Cooley. He's the youngest of the Rhino family, born here, I believe, just before Christmas. Only second in size to the elephants that are here at ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. These of course are your large rhinos, and they always get aggravated by birds sitting on their back pecking away at them. Now if Cooley's about, he's going to be over here by the paddock area close to mum, so hopefully we'll get a glimpse. I've seen them before, very bouncy character. Wow, someone has certainly grown in a couple of months. It was of course Christmas time, I believe I captured him hiding and sleeping away with mum, but now just look at him, actually forestalled. That's the other youngster, the baby, is hiding over here in the corner. There we go. There's a little one. Yeah, I kind of forgot there was one calf born in between Chloe and Nang, who was a previous youngster. And the little one, said Chloe, is there with the parents. Very puppyish in the way they bounce along. Of course we get planes overhead because we are on the flight path for Luton Airport. The airport itself being little more than about 5 miles from here. You sharpening your horns there on that bar. No need to stop. Carry on if you want. Look at that squelching you're making over there. Is it boggy enough for you? Our friends, the European bears, will still be on what they call torpor, which is a mild form of hibernation. Lasts for somewhere in the region of about 100 days. In that time, they will not even go to the toilet. They've stocked up, they have Fat Bear Week where they eat as much as they can, and then they just go and rest up. So next time round, if not then the time after, they should be out all playing around. Right guys, that's going to do it for today here at ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. It's been a cold, brisk day. The lion cubs certainly made up for that. Seeing them brought sort of smiles to the many that were crowded round. It's what we intentionally wanted to see on my birthday, Monday just gone. Unfortunately it was sort of brutal out there, so they weren't out to the general public. They're out for perhaps an hour a day at the moment with their mum, Winter. As I said, as yet they've not been sexed. That'll probably happen in the next couple of days, and we'll then know whether we've got little girls or little boys, etc. Apart from that, it's been a pretty good day. Gone round, seen the animals I wanted to see. Rachel's just gone off to go and get herself a warm caffeinated beverage because it is pretty bitter. It is still winter, still February, but we've had a good time. So with that guys, the next update from the zoo will be some point probably mid-March, I guess. You'll probably see a lot of the spring flowers starting to come out then, the animals starting to stir, hopefully the bears. If not, then that will be the time after, and we get the more warmer climes. It's just more pleasant up here because we're on the top of a hill, one of the highest points in Bedfordshire here. The cloud can get low, it can get dark, it can be a ton of precipitation, but anyhow, that's by the by. Hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have. We'll see you next time. See you in the movies. Bye for now. Trying to catch up with some of these little critters, the meerkats. I said every animal pretty much 2x2, etc. all hunkering down. They've all got these shelters that have got the heating elements to keep them warm. You'd certainly rather be in there than out here